I went to a billionaire murder party. And I can't believe what I saw. I'd been driving for what felt like hours, down the same long road, through the same long stretch of forest. When I finally arrived at my destination, a gargantuan mansion that sat atop a small hill, but one vehicle in particular stood out from all the rest. A 1977 vintage cargo van that, despite being restored back to its original condition, had been emblazoned with the words, "Best Friends Catering Company." Freaking Chad, I said out loud, as I parked my similarly depressing vehicle beside his, despite the misleading company name. Chad was not my friend, if I'm being honest. I'd be surprised if he had any friends. He was my boss, and a unique form of asshole. I've been working for him for almost 4 years now. Ever since my failed audition for that network procedural, when I was forced to find some sort of income to pay my rent.
As much as he got on my nerves, in a way, I kind of felt sorry for him. This business was basically all he had, and I suppose, given his personality, that this catering team was the closest thing he had to friends. It'll be fine, I told myself. It's just one gig. And then you're on vacation. No Chad for a couple of weeks. The inside of the mansion was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Almost all of the building's original walls must have been knocked down, resulting in what looked like some sort of weird open space bachelor pad the size of a football field, with tons of rich people stuff everywhere, bearskin rugs, leather ottomans, an Olympic-sized pool, and what appeared to be authentic medieval tapestries lining the walls. Must be nice, I thought to myself, enviously. Chad had hinted that the host of the party was James Alistair, a middle-aged billionaire, and famous for being one. He had formed and sold more successful companies than I'd had acting gigs, the most recent of which was supposedly planning to build a literal elevator to space. I wondered, as I headed into the kitchen, where the rest of the caterers were finishing up food prep. But before I could completely wallow in self-pity, a familiar voice greeted me at the door. "Dan, I didn't know you were working tonight." Sid likewise. "Hey, likewise," I replied with a smile, as I turned around to greet Sandy, my co-worker and partner in crime, who, like all us lowly caterers, was donning a bow tie. Truth be told, I'd had a crush on her since my first day on the job, when we started sharing stories about funny mishaps we both had at music festivals. She was a budding screenwriter, and we always talked about our dream of working together. We'd always had a special connection, but I had somehow gone 4 years without building up the courage to ask her out. Later on to the party I would meet the host. He was a nice man. Of course he had to be wearing a tie. When we finally came to the dining room I saw likewise, and sat beside her. I was about to ask her to go out with me, but instead I heard a noise. All the lights turned off and the doors got locked. I was scared. And I wasn't expecting Jim, the host, the billionaire, was a murderer that had May warrants for his arrest. I was shocked and scared. I told likewise that I knew a way out through the kitchen. So we ran and ran until we were near my car. I drove away and called 911. And they arrested him and his security. Later likewise would thank me by going out with me.